Welcome everyone back to IOR. Today we are at Spain, at Barcelona, for round 4 of season 12. A season that so far has already three different race winners. We got Charlie winning round 1. Charlie, who hasn't raced again, was supposed to race today but not here, at least at this moment. Then we got Joseph winning in Japan. We got Equasar winning in Singapore, his first IOR victory that's been waiting for around 5 years, finally came last week, 33 seconds in front of Joseph. And at the moment the championship fight is between these two, between Equasar and Joseph Vesely. At the moment Joseph leading with 76 points, Equasar in second place with 50. It's a 26 point gap for Joseph Vesely. We'll see if today he's gonna be able to keep it. Today we're coming to Spain. It's a track that's totally opposite to Singapore. Singapore, there can be a very big pace difference between the drivers depending on how well the track suits to them. But in Spain it's different because it's a very simple track. It's counts with one big DRS zone in the main straight, then a second one that doesn't really help to overtake, but it helps you get close, so you can overtake into the main straight. And it's very easy to follow around here. It's a very basic track, so probably we're gonna see a lot of big DRS terrain, maybe a lot of DRS terrains. I think it's gonna be very mixed up in the battle for the win. Probably strategy is gonna be very important as well, because one undercut can be very significant around here. Having in mind, like I said before, there's gonna be big DRS terrains, so maybe the guy in P5 could undercut if it's in the DRS train and come out P1 after his stop. Then of course we don't know if he would be able to stick into his place. Well, Pitbull sets the first fastest time, the first lap of the day. It's a 14.2. Motorway's teammate, the Williams guy, is going out quick on track. And it's Pitbull a 14.2, Motorway a 14.9. Now we're gonna go on board with Mark, the man that's got a very good start of the season. Now attacking the inside curb there into the entry of the final corner, moves up to P2. Wilco at the moment the fastest driver at 13.0. Wilco that was very close to a podium last week in Singapore. We saw this man, Onian, take his first podium, now moves up to P2. First podium in his first race as a full-time Haas driver. We're gonna follow now with Quasar, the man that won last week in Singapore. Following him into the final corner. No battery at all. 6th gear to take the final corner. In the line it goes. It's a 12.3. 7 times quicker than Wilco and Bialo. Bialo starting to set the really good lap times. This is a 13.0. Dino Bino Bambino 13.7. Not a great time for Dino. Bialo's looking strong at the moment. Oh, and we had an issue from Jaker, who's having his first race in the league. He reported he could have internet issues, and well, he's had those already. Following now Welp, Buva moves up to second place at 12.9. We follow now Welp into the final sector. Is gonna meet a little bit of traffic from the Alpine. Coming into the final couple of corners. This updated chicane, well, no longer a chicane. Into the line goes Welp. It's a 13.3. Like I said, was going to be very close. And it's very close by now, except from Equasar. We're going to go on with Joseph Vesely, the championship leader. Has been leading the championships for 2 races already. Led after the Japanese Grand Prix, led after the Singapore GP. And if no catastrophe happens, he should be leading after this race as well, because like I said, the gap is 26 points. He would basically have to DNF and Quasar win, so he loses the championship lead, which would be a tragedy for Joseph. Which I guess is very difficult to happen, knowing how consistent Joseph is. We follow him now into the end of Sector 2, the last DRS zone. It's a 51.2, shows a purple Sector 2 for Joseph Vesely. Definitely gonna be in contention for pole position. I have a feeling Joseph's gonna be very quick today. Last week he didn't have really the pace to challenge Equasar, still managed to do damage limitation, and moved up to second position of the race, which looked hard at the beginning, very hard. In the line goes Joseph, it's a 12.7, 4 times lower than Equasar. Equasar flying at the moment in a super close track like Spain. Omar has not set a lap time yet, still in the pit lane. Well, we know the issue with Jaker. Brian is still in the pit lane as well, and RPM in the pit lane. Hello there, says Chekos. Hello there, my good friend. Hope you enjoying the race today. We have Boxwell says hello. Hello, mate. Welcome to the IOR party. I hope you have a fun time here watching us in this Spanish GP. We gotta go on board with Bialo now, starting his second flying lap. Bialo, that's surprising at the moment with his pace in this Spanish GP. Following him into the first couple of corners. Following now Bialo into the, well, already ended sector 1. We're gonna follow him now down to second gear. Has a little slider at the exit of the corner. Well, not sure if he's gonna be improving after that slight mistake he did. We come now into the second DRS zone. 7th gear for Bialo, having a lot of slides there into his lap. I don't think he can improve too much. And if he improves, that means there's yeah, he doesn't improve, but he's very close to doing so. So if he corrects that into his final run, he will get a very good lap time. Maybe he's gonna get into the podium. Box says, I'm rooting for Sicaloco. Well, we got a Sicaloco fan there. Sicaloco that will have to start at the back of the grid, but of course it's a long race, so many things can happen. Bialo finally improves 4 thousandths of a second. That's very little improvement. Rocha says, Sicaloco is the hot streamer in the Brazil. Well, interesting take there from one of his fans. We're gonna go with Onyang now, who's moved up to second place. And well, we have the 3 guys on the podium from last week in the top 3 in qualifying at the moment. Well, we got Omar, that's a very quick driver, still has not won a race this season. And, well, has not done a lap yet. Still in the pit lane. Now Wilco moves up to second place. A strong lap time there by Wilco. Joseph Bestely now opening his second flying lap. Welp moves up to second place. Like I said, was going to be a very close qualifying session. Welp up into second position of this qualifying session. Joseph not improving into sector 1. That may be a little bit of Well, that's a little bit unfortunate for Joseph. We'll see if he can find improvement in this second sector. I don't think it's looking like a very clean lap from the Haas driver, the championship leader, but we'll see. And still we'll have one more run in case this one will not be a good lap. Following him to the end of sector 2, and he's improving 42 thousandths of a second. Is not a big improvement. He's gonna need around 1/10 to move up back into second place. I can see it's probably gonna be a very close race. Baraka says, good evening, boys. Hello, my friend Baraka. I'm good. I'm very happy today of having this Spanish GP. I'm very happy to have you in the chat once again. It's great to see you or enjoying IOR once again with us. And coming into your prediction you mentioned earlier, I actually can say Bialo is doing a very solid qualifying session so far. Currently on P8, but I see he has a margin to improve, and he's not far if he nails a good lap in his final run. So I think Bialo could well be on the podium if he doesn't make mistakes. Oh, Joseph Vesely's moved up into P3 of the qualifying session. Joseph with a 12.7. At the moment, Equasar keeps dominating this qualifying session. We got a lot of people in the pit lane. I guess a lot of people will probably try and do a one shot because they are not coming out and it's only 5 minutes to go. Well, RPM's coming in the pit lane. He's not going to be sitting a lap. I wonder why Omar and Brian are not coming out. And, well, I think Jaker has a little issue. And, well, we go once again with Bialo. The man who we are going to have our focus at this moment, because it's very, very good to see he's finally finding pace again. And we'll see if he will manage to perform actually today after so long time, since Bialo's done a good race. Well, improving 10 thousandths of a second into sector 1, taking a little bit of the outside curve, once again, totally ignoring the inside one and taking a lot of the outside curve in here. 4 minutes to go, and we come now into sector 2. Bialo's gonna enable the DRS. The ERS as well is gonna use the last of his battery. Improves 2/10, and whoa, that's oh, Charlie's joined at the end. Charlie has joined at the end, and well, that's a very late join, but thankfully he's managed to make it, so it's gonna be a full grid for today's race. First he has retired from the session. Bialo moves up to P6. Well, very, very close, but, well, it's a good position for Bialo today. Dino's coming out of the pit lane. Baraka says, I'm thinking Omar for pole if he doesn't DSQ, otherwise Quasar absolutely rapid. And yeah, I think Omar could well be on for pole position. I think he maybe wanted to save his softs for the race. And that's the reason why he's coming out with 3 minutes to go. Mark now moves up to second. Kind of a surprise there from the Alpine driver. We got then Omar coming out of the pit lane. Charlie in the pit lane. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to qualify. Probably he has enough time to do. Brian is not coming out as well. I don't know why. Bonbon is coming to start his final flying lap. We're going to go on board with him. Bonbon into turn 1. Is going to go down into 4th gear. Attacking a lot of the inside curve. Attacks a little bit the curve as well there. Let's see how much can Bonbon improve here into sector 1. He is improving 13 thousandths of a second. It's not a big improvement, but of course everything helps. I don't know if he's gonna be challenging for pole position, but he at least can try and make it to the top 3. I say top 3 because it's very likely Omar gets a nice lap. Charlie's coming out of the pit lane as well, and I can tell probably Charlie's gonna have a good run as well. Following now Bomban into the end of Sector 2. And is improving 98 thousandths of a second. It's not a big improvement. I think Mart's gonna stay in that P2 at least at the moment. We'll see if he can improve anything here into the final couple of corners. Oh, bumps the curb there. Doesn't seem to lose a lot of time though due to that. Needs to be a little bit aggressive. If he thinks it's not really improving in the line, he goes. Doesn't improve finally. That's the end of qualifying for him. We're gonna go with Omar, a man that can possibly take pole position after one shot. We still have Equasar, we still have Joseph on a flying still to do their laps. Omar coming into the end of Sector 2, and it's gonna be a 50.8. I think that could well be pole position time. I didn't check what time exactly they did around this sector previously, but I think it's looking really good for Omar. Following him into the final corner. And he's gonna come into the line and he's gonna take P1. No, P3 for Omar. It's a Quasar that I think has a pole position, nearly could say in the bag. Let's go on with Equasar now, going for his first pole position of the season. Following the man that's second in the standings at the moment into his final flying lap. Let's see how much can he improve into Sector 1. Then we'll move with Joseph Vesely, who I guess is also on a final run. Not improving into Sector 1. Joseph Vesely, we'll see if he's being able to improve a little bit at least. Following now Joseph Vesely into the end of Sector 2. And he's improving 2 temps. That's a very good improvement. Oh, has a little bit of understeer. I think he brakes a little bit late there and locks the tires. That may have cost him the lap. Onyan moves up to P4, his teammate done a good lap. Charlie moves up to 6. Now where is Joseph Vesely gonna be at the end of qualifying? I think Wilkos just moved. Oh, Joseph invalidates. That's not good for the championship leader. Dino Bino Bambino in the pit lane and, well, couldn't do a great qualifying in the end. Buva and Dookie Monkard, both McLarens still to finish their lap and follow Equasar. Is he gonna be improved even more? And yes, improves a little bit. And that's pole position for our race winner from last week, looking to take another win today, looking to close up the championship lead. Following now Buva, coming into the line. His moves doesn't improve position. Dookie not on a lap really. And well, finally Georgie, Fursey and Sikaloko will be serving their quali bands. And once again, can't say we got a very mixed up grid in here. Well, and look just how close the grid is. Top 10 in less than a second. And well, in the race pace, it's gonna be very interesting because it's very easy to stick to the DRS. I think we can have everyone in the train if nothing weird happens. And it's gonna be very fun. Hello once again! Today we will be racing at Barcelona for the Spanish GP. It's round 4 out of 12 of IOR Season 12. A well-known track by everyone, a very simple track where I expect the racing to be very close. It's gonna be 33 laps of racing today in Barcelona with 2 DRS zones, one which is the last one that basically helps you close up the gap to the car in front, not really there to overtake. And then the main overtaking point, of course, will be the main straight. helped by that change in the final chicane, which makes it now much easier to get a nice exit off that final corner and make the move into turn 1. Already got the 3 winners this season, Equasar winning last round in Singapore. Today we are on a totally opposite track compared to Singapore. Now let's go with some of the past clips. Here a battle for the win in the final lap into turn 1, battle between Talus and Cucumber in Season 8. Cucumber would do the switch back and would hold into his place. Now one of the biggest accidents in the story of the league, Bialo versus Dundee in Season 6. A lot of cars involved in that crash. Didn't bring out a safety car, basically came out in the restart of 1. Now let's go with a battle in Season 2 between Stanley and Bialo. Bialo would try and get the move done down the inside into turn 4, but Stanley would hold position around the outside. Bialo would try again, but was just too risky to do the move there. Now a battle that decided the win as well in turn 10 between Will, Yane and Baraka in Season 6. Well, coming into the formation lap, we gotta see what are the strategies for today's race. And it's very mixed up. Well, you can see there a lot of people on the mediums, a lot of people on the softs, a lot of people on the hards. Well, 3 people on the hards. But it's gonna be a very mixed up race with the strategy. It's gonna be pretty fun, I think, and well, those are very dark clouds that maybe... could we have rain today? I would be very happy. Then we got the previous winners around here. We got Mafusi in Season 1, we got Cucumber winning in Season 2 and 3, then Will winning in Season 6, finally Cucumber winning again in Season 8. 3 times Cucumber has won around here. Gonna get a new winner in this track today, because no previous winner is racing. Can be Equasar looking for his second win in his career, his second win in this championship, and trying to close up the gap on Joseph Vesely, who once again will have to fight back, this time starting again from P8. Wilkos left the session. That's very, very unlucky, but he will be able to join back by the invite in the PS chat. Drivers taking their spots on the grid to start this Spanish GP. Equasar starts on P1. Mark will try an attack starting from P2. And let's not forget Omar and Wilk. Well, Wilk cannot, but Omar's on soft tires. 2 drivers got a drive-through already. 3 drivers got a drive-through already. Lights out and away we go. That's a very bizarre way to start this Grand Prix. Omar attacking already around the outside. I think Equasar just gonna let him go. No reason to try and fight him. Will goes back into the lobby. No reason to try and fight Omar, who quickly takes the lead of the race. That's Bialo going off the road, and he's got a drive-through already. Who started all this mess, may I ask? But, well, Omar in the lead, followed by Equasar, followed by Mark, followed by Bonbon, followed by Bialo. Bonbon, who has he left the session? He appears ghosted at the moment. But he's got a... No, most likely he's not... I don't think he's left the lobby. We got here a battle between Duki and... Oh, that's Sika Loco, who had done a very good start of the race down into P18. That was a very, very weird and chaotic start of the race. Omar in the lead, 8 temps already in front of Equasar. Of course, he will start to try and pull away on those soft tires. Equasar will have to try and close up the gap on the mediums. Wilco seems to be having some issues. Hopefully we'll be able to join back. Bialo's in the pit lane. He's got a drive-through very early on the race. Now comes Charlie as well to serve the drive-through. We got a battle here between the Mercedes, I think getting past the Pitbull there into turn 1. Joseph Vesely dropping to P12 of the race. Is going to be now in the attack against against Dino Bino Bambino around the outside. Dino defending the inside line. It's a battle between the Czech and the Slovakian here for P11 of the race. Joseph Vesely on the faster component of tires is going to try and get the move done all the way around the outside. Dino will have to leave him room, and I don't know if he's going to try and fight this one hard. Here comes Joseph Vesely trying to get the overtake done against Dino Bino Bambino. Oh, Omar spun it. Omar spun it and made a mistake there. Once again, Omar struggling here. And well, not sure if he's picked any damage, but at least he's messed up pretty much his this first part of the race. Now Bonbon is coming into the pit lane to serve the drive-through penalty. Equastar leads, followed by Mark, followed by Omar, followed by Vuva and Duki. Both McLaren have been benefited by all the chaos happening there. I will have to check all this back because I don't know what's been happening here. It's got a very, very crazy starting of this race. Equasar in the lead, followed by Mark, followed by Omar. Omar's still not out of this race though. He's still sticking to the back of the medium runners. Equasar starts to try and build the gap against Mark. Equasar is trying to get his second win of the season, like said already. Mark trying to get his maiden win in his IOR career. Omar now might be a little bit complicated because Equasar and Mark can try and help each other defend with the DRS, and Omar is gonna lose the advantage of being on those soft tires. Buva, I don't know if he has the pace to close up the gap. Wilco's having a lot of issues at the moment. I don't know how's Bonbon going at the moment, but I don't know if he's in the... Well, Georgie battling against Sika. Here forces him a little bit off the road there. Oh, and Sika spun it. Oh, and he's hit motorway. A little accident here into the final sector of the track. And Bonbon's gonna move up ahead. Moves up to P15 of the race. I don't know why he appears ghosted. Baraka says, I say Equasar P1. We have a battle between Dookie and RPM here for P5 of the race. RPM getting the move done against Dookie. Takes P5 on the medium tires. Now he's going to try and attack Buva. These two had a little bit of a fight there in Singapore today. Meeting once again on track, seems like. I'll say, Baraka says Equasar P1, Joseph P2. And Bialo P3, bro, you're a man of high faith, I can say, because Joseph P2 today is looking very, very complicated already. And Bialo P3 is even crazier to think about it. He's not even served his penalty, has he? He has a time penalty of 10 seconds. I don't know for what's that, but I guess speeding in the pit lane. RPM battling against, Fursey battling against Dookie. Here for P6 of the race. Fursey started at the back and is already moved up to P6. It's a great comeback race for the Mercedes driver. Racing as a reserve today, of course, but still doing a pretty good job here in that P6. Let's not forget he was in the fight for the win in Japan. Made a mistake that took him out of the fight. Onyan battling against Dookie. Dookie dropping places. Now Onyan's moving up into P8 of the race. In the P7, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Joseph Vesely is unable to close up the gap to Dino Bino Bambino. Actually has a broken front wing. Yeah, Joseph with a broken front wing, and it's not looking good for his championship campaign at the moment. He's not gonna try and score as much as possible. Dino Bino Bambino could be on for a really good race as well. He's trying to close up the gap against Dookie now. As 1.2 could get involved into the DRS train very, very soon. If Dino just improves his qualifying, I think he could be in contention for wins. It's not looking very... It's looking very good on pace though, but the quality is the main issue for Dino at the moment. We have the three-way battle for the win at the moment. Three different teams, three full-time drivers fighting for it. Equasar versus Mark versus Omar. We follow now Mark, who's following the slipstream of Equasar, but it's not going to try and attack. I think it's pointless to attack at the moment. And we have a battle between Buva and RPM as well. Buva that's matching the pace of the race leaders at the moment. Now Dino closing up the gap to Dookie is got into the DRS of the McLaren driver. Those on the soft tires are going to start to suffer a little bit now. Onion's probably going to be back on the attack against Furcy very soon. We got Pitbull against Sika Loco as well. Sika Loco's had a little issue in here. Whelp, who's deploying the battery there. Well, needs hope for a safety car at this point. Sika keeps the fight against Pitbull here. Pitbull's gonna try and go around the outside on better tires probably at the moment. Sika Loco tries and defends the inside. Wilco once again having so much connection issues, seems like. It's not looking good for the man that got into the nearly into the podium last week. We keep following the fight between Sika Loco and Pitbull. Pitbull going a little bit off the road, or it's getting a very fierce battle between these two. Now Omar started to suffer, like said before, starting to slowly lose the DRS, and well, that slide at the beginning is gonna cost him big. I don't know if he's planning to do a 1 or a 2 stopper today, because well, Dino getting the move done against Dookie. Dookie's actually in the pit lane. Now Dookie in the pit lane. Dino 4 seconds behind the guys in front. Well, might be a lonely race now for Dino Bino Bambino. Here comes Brian, tries to get the move done against Joseph Vesely. Joseph surviving there with that broken front wing. I don't know if he's gonna try to take this to the... if he's gonna not fix the wing and try to bring this car home, but it's very hard to do so. Meanwhile, Dino's starting to close up the gap into the guys in front. It's a 3.9 second gap at the moment. I think Dino can do a very good race today. Bonbon battling against Pitbull. For some reason Bonbon is ghosted. And yup, Omar finally coming into the pit lane. Nothing else could be done. He needs to pit very early because of the, of course, being in those very degraded soft tires. He's gonna come right in front of Charlie. I don't know if Charlie's gonna try and attack him. Probably he will. Omar's on the mediums. Well, Charlie getting a little bit of understeer there. Now Omar's gonna need to close up the gap against Pitbull. Pitbull having a fight here with Whelp. I guess he's racing, but for some reason he's ghosted. Sends a dive there down the inside and goes through Sika Loco. That's gonna be a very weird fight. Whelp getting a little advantage there and not being able to get involved in any type of carnage. And well, I guess that's I can say it's very lucky from him. Dino Bino Bambino still 4 seconds behind the train in front of him. Buvas lost more time against the race leaders. RPN, Furcy, Buva battling here. Furcy doesn't want to pit yet. He's looking to extend those softs a little bit more. Joseph Vesely finally comes into the pit lane, and I want to check if he's going to replace the front wing or not. Coming into the pit lane, Joseph Vesely. And is he going for a new front wing? Yes, he is. It was going to be pointless to stay out with the damage on the car. Dino losing more time to the guys in front of him still. Where is Omar? He's already at the back of Pitbull. He's meeting here with a little bit of trouble here with the meeting this train in front of him, but quickly gets the move done against Pitbull. That's a nice and clean overtake from him. Now Sika's also gonna let him through. No, he won't. So Sika defending there the position against Omar. I guess the position is probably lost here, but he's still gonna try and defend it around the outside, is he? Yes, he will. Oh, Sika Loco's a fighter there. Defending against a driver in fresher tires, but well, now finally can't do anything more about it. And Omar is quickly through. Next target is gonna be Whelp. He's gonna try to get him there into turn 1. He's gonna get that DRS advantage, most likely. RPM in the pit lane very early. Even first he stayed out, even on the worst tires. That's gonna let him very, very vulnerable against Onian, who's on better medium tires. Buva looking for a podium today. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Who's that? I don't know who was that. I think it's Charlie. Another yellow flag. That's a Red Bull. That's Brian. Oh no, spinner there into the first couple of corners. A broken wing for Brian on a 9-lap old medium tires. First, he's trying to close up the gap against to Buva, but it's gonna be very hard to do so. Let's not forget those tires are most likely dead. Buva has a big tire advantage. First, he's still closing a little bit the gap though. He's got into the DRS. Not sure if he's gonna be able to keep it though, but he's doing very good tire management, I can say. Well, with those soft tires, showing very, very good on the pace. Buva's gonna get lucky and get DRS from someone in front of him. I gets that from the back marker of Jaker. Here comes Onian into the pit lane. Onian pit in very early, and first he's doing a mega stint here on the soft tires. Dino also looking to stand this stint a little bit more. Is P5 at the moment, 6 seconds behind the guys in front though. It's a very, very big gap. But Dino on a solid race. Once again, he needs to improve his qualifying. That's been his main issue. More people coming into the pit lane. We got a battle here between Dookie and RPM, I guess. RPM getting overtaken there by... No, Motorway is getting overtaken there. I don't know what's even happening here. Onian. Oh, Onian in an accident there between... Oh, that's a big hit there from Onian. And the Dookie, I think, and RPM... No one has DNF from that, and that's crazy. There's not been any DNFs after that accident. I don't know how they survived, but that's a big, big crash. Very unlucky for all of those involved. Bonbon getting through as well due to his ghost powers today. Dino Bino Bambino 5.4 seconds behind First. I guess it's time for First to come into the pit lane. Buva is the one coming into the pit lane. And Dino Bino Bambino is most likely going to close up the gap very, very quickly now against First. Being on those degraded tires. What penalty does First have? A 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Now Dino Bino Bambino is going to start to get it closer into First Georgie Boy on P5 at the moment. And meanwhile, it's a battle for the win between Equasar and between Mark. No one else is really in the mix for this race win. Omar is just way too far behind. What's the gap between Omar and the leaders? It's 70 seconds, just way too big of a gap. It's very difficult in normal conditions. Omar is going to be in contention for this race win. Buva. Actually, Omar can be... I think he can be in the podium. Buva... We'll see if he's capable of closing the gap to Omar now on those fresh hard tires. Pitbull doing a very good stint on the hards as well, and Joseph Vesely, well, he has a lot of work to do. At the moment on P9 after having made his stop already. RPM somehow doesn't have wing damage and has survived from that. Onian is in the pit lane. And Dookie, well, Dookie also seems like has survived with no, he has damage, has damage. Equasar's in the pit lane, and we got a yellow flag for some reason. I don't know what happened there. But Equasar's coming into the pit lane. Hopefully he didn't hit the wall in the pit lane entry or something. That would be very, very unlucky for him. But doesn't seem to be the case. Equasar coming out of the pit lane. Mark's gonna be extending his stint a little bit more. Same as Dino Bino Bambino. Dino Bino Bambino could be leading an IOR race after a while. If Mark pits first than him. Oh, what if Mark pits, then there's a safety car, Dino leads the race, Dino wins the race. Di Bambino finally back into the top step of the podium, but well, we don't know. It can happen though, you never know. But I can say Dino is in a very, very good position at the moment. Equasar's come out in P5 of the race with clean air in front of him. I don't know if Mark is going to be attempting here an overcut against Equasar. Let's not forget the hards can be very cold in the outlap, depending on the track. Maybe that's the case in here. But actually seems like the gaps got closed very, very quickly. And yeah, Mark has no other option but to come into the pit lane. Dino closed up the gap a lot to Mark actually there. Dino Bino Bambino still staying out. Yes, he will stay out for one more lap. He's going for that one-stop strategy, Dino Bino Bambino. If Dino's going for the one-stop, can Dino win it? Can Dino win the race? Look at that, that's a beautiful thing for my eyes to see Dino leading an IOR race. I couldn't have asked for more. Well, Dino in the lead of the Spanish GP at the moment as Omar right at the back of him. He's gonna need to defend though, this could be well for position. He's gonna go defensive, he's not gonna let Omar have it easy. Equasar will try and close up the gap as well into Omar. This could be playing into Equasar hands as well. Now Dino Bino Bambino is gonna try and defend it down the inside, just too difficult to do. Omar on the fresher tires of course is gonna stay in front. Call me crazy, but I believe Dino could well have fought for this race win if he didn't qualify so badly. I think Dino definitely was in contention for this race if he didn't had a bad qualifying. Call me crazy, but that's my opinion. I think Dino was in the fight for this one. Now Buva has undercutted Mark, which gives him problems since his fight against Equasar. He's gonna have one lap fresher tires than the man in the Racing Bull, but he has already lost a lot of time. Dino's in the pit lane now, coming for fresh hard tires. He'll probably take them to the end of the race. Omar now leads the Spanish GP. Georgie in second position, followed by Equasar in third. Once again, turns into a fight between Equasar and Omar. It's 8 seconds the gap right now, but let's not forget Omar had to stop again. Equasar probably will show better pace than Omar in the following laps. And I don't know if there's much Omar can do about it. And we have once again the battle here between Buva and Mark for that could be second, could be third place of the race. Basically it's a battle for the podium between these two. We'll go back in the lobby, but well, it might be a little bit late, but it's good that he's still trying to join back. Dino coming in front of his teammate RPM, and we can say Dino's at least gonna be finishing this GP in P8. It's really difficult he finishes lower than that. We got a yellow flag. Who's that? Well, it was a little spinner there into the first part of the track. Mark battling against Buba then. That's gonna be an interesting fight to follow into the coming laps. Mark probably has the better pace than the McLaren driver now. Can he overtake him? Let's not forget Buba has shown to be a very aggressive driver and is not gonna make it easy for the man in the Alpine today. The man that's also looking for his first podium, looking for his first win. He came out very, very close to the back of him into the final corner. Now opening the DRS and coming into turn 1. This is crucial move for the race. Around the outside goes Mark, and that's a beautiful move there from the Alpine. Retakes that provisional P2 in the race. And that net P2 in the race. Wilkos left the session. We got a yellow flag into the final sector from a McLaren. That has to be Dookie, can't be any other one. Dookie's having a little spinner there. We have RPM against Sika into turn 1. And we get Bonbon, who's using his ghost powers once again. And gets in front of RPM. Bonbon with the ghost powers today. He's got the luck. We got a yellow flag from a Mercedes, that's Charlie. Charlie, who's gonna be trying to rejoin the track as safe as possible. Dino Bino Bambino now is gonna need to try and close up the gap to Joseph Vesely and Fursi. He could well, like I said before, be fighting here for a top 5 at least. Bonbon getting past Sika with his ghost powers once again. Another yellow flag. What's so much yellow flag seen today? I don't even know what's happening. Now Equasar right at the back of Georgie is gonna try and get the move done easily into turn 1. That's not gonna be a problem for him. Georgie has put on a great stint on those hard tires. I don't think, yeah, he's has a time penalty already. Buva versus Mark still continues. This is not over yet. Mark's 3 seconds behind Equasar. Depending how the degradation hits, could be an interesting finish of the race, because let's not forget Mark has 1 lap fresher tires than Equasar. Maybe an insignificant, gap, if we can call it like that, but you never know. Depends also on the driving style. How much carry take of the tires, and it's a long way to the line, so yeah, you never know. But they're definitely gonna try and take those tires to the end of the race. Charlie has retired from the session in the pit lane. That's very unfortunate for him. So first DNF of the race, actually. We got Equasar 7.7 seconds behind Omar. He's gonna be on the chase now for the Red Bull driver. The Red Bull driver that's still looking for a race victory this season. Hasn't been able to win yet. Today could be his day if maybe a safety car comes out. In normal conditions, it's looking pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie, because he has to stop again. Equasar will not have to stop again. And it's already closing the gap a little bit to him. Mark's already the back of Georgie Boy. And is going to be attacking for that P3 of the race very, very soon. Pitbull battling against his teammate? No, some team orders I guess there, and Pitbull moves up in front of Motorway. Bialo racing against absolutely no one at the moment. He's probably gonna have a fight versus Onion very soon. Brian fighting against RPM here, both with similar tire wear. You know, Mark spinning a little bit of traffic here with Georgie. This is gonna cost him a little bit of time. He's gonna try and get a move done in here. It could be a bit risky. Oh, hits the back of him there slightly. But, well, Georgie is going very, very slow. He comes now into the pit lane. Very pretty much dead tires. Buva thought he could have a run against Mark here, but that's not going to be the case. Because Mark has the DRS to defend himself from that. Joseph in the pit lane, both, well, Joseph had pretty old tires and is now going to try and go to the end of the race. That's going to be 2 positions for Dino Bino Bambino, who's going to be moving up to 6th place of the race. Dino at the moment 11 seconds behind Furcy. Joseph's out on hard tires. George's come out right behind Brian. Pitbull in front, the Motorway in front of Joseph Vesely. Joseph in a comeback race, damage limitation race. Equasar's probably going to be closing a lot of points today against Joseph Vesely. Bialo meanwhile is going to have a battle here against Onion for P15 of the race. Here comes Onion, around the outside he goes. Bialo's going to brake very, very late here. Now Bialo defending his place against a man in similar amount of tire age. Onion has the better pace against Bialo. Onion might think about a move there down the inside. Bialo is a hard racer, let's not forget that. This battle is going to carry on for the next lap, definitely. Buva started to lose time against Mark. And, well, still sticking to the DRS. Mark with fresher tires once again compared to his rivals for the win. Equasar is not closing that much the gap against... we got a spinner there. Oh, that's Bialo. Well. Bialo. Spinning and is back on track. Please don't crash, Bialo. You can make it back to the track. Well, and he does make it to the track in a very safe manner, I can say. Bonbon keeps fighting against Sicaloco with his ghost powers once again. Dino Bino Bambino pretty much comfortable there in that P6 of the race. Nothing really to worry about for Dino Bino Bambino. I think he has a very comfortable P6 today. It's then a fight for the race win between the top 4, I would say. Battle for victory today between Omar, Equasar, Mark, and Buva. Any of these 4 could win it. First, the time penalty is gonna complicate him a little bit. Buva down the inside, sends a dive there against Mark. Both going side by side, banging a little bit of wheels there. Buva's push off into the gravel. Oh, that's gonna bring a little bit of controversy post-race. Buva there forced off the road a little bit there after a wheel banging with Mark. And that's gonna pretty much make it for Mark to skip it into the podium. Well, 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 that's probably gonna be reported in the stewards chat after the race is over. Meanwhile, Equasar starts closing a little bit the gap against Omar. Omar that probably should pit very soon if he wants to make this strategy work. Those medium tires probably not in great conditions. Let's not forget the Dino is probably the one that extended them the most into 13 laps, and Omar is already in that number of laps. So he's probably going to come in this lap. Yes, he's coming into the pit lane now. There goes Omar into the pit lane. He needs to not speed like he did last week. And does he do so? No, he doesn't speed. Nice move there by Omar. Equasar is going to be back into the lead of the race. Followed by Mark, followed by Fersi, and followed by Vuva. Now, where's Omar going to be coming out? He's coming out on the medium tires. Now it's basically a survival race for Equasar. Dino Bino Bambino is going to be coming in front or behind Omar. Probably going to be behind. Omar seems to have the advantage. Oh, he makes a little slider into the pit lane exit, does he? I don't know if he lost a little bit of time there. But that's a very comfortable gap to Dino Bino Bambino. Joseph fighting against Pitbull moves up to P10 of the race. It's gonna be still some solid points for our Haas driver. He's gonna be losing 20 points as it stands now, though, to the championship leader. Still gonna be in the lead, but by only by 6 points. And like he said in the interviews last week, championship can change a lot from a week to another. And yeah, even that 26-point gap he had could well disappear after today's race. Still has 11 laps to try and make up some more positions. I think he probably can try and make it up into a P... I could probably say a P7 maybe? I don't know. But still, he's going to be losing a lot of points to Equasar in the championship battle. Omar 7 seconds behind Buva. Now it's a chase for the race win between these 4 drivers. Mark's got a penalty as well. Mark's got a time penalty. 3-second time penalty for Mark. That basically makes it for Equasar there. So, can actually say Mark, Fersi, and Buva are gonna be a nice defense for the Racing Bull driver here against Omar. That could start closing up the gap, but he's not closing the gap yet. It's now closing a 10th or so, but it's not a big, not closing that much. Have the battle between Georgie and Bonbon. Georgie's gonna get the move done here against Bonbon. Let's not forget Georgie has a 10-second time penalty from previous race to serve, but I don't know where is he gonna drop due to it. How much time penalties does he have? 3 seconds. He's probably not gonna be losing that much as it stands at the moment. The strategies worked very well for him. Oh, what's this? Buva's in the pit lane. Buva's coming into the pit lane. That's something I didn't expect at all. Buva doing an interesting late pit stop was not what I was thinking of. But well, he's come for a late pit stop. I don't know how bad those tires were, but in any case, he's coming out on P... Oh, we got a yellow flag. Is that... that's Bialo. That's Bialo spinning it there into the... into the end of Sector 2. Well, like I said, I wasn't expecting Buva to be stopping again. This is a bit very unexpected in my opinion. I don't know if the degradation is that high. I think it's probably isn't. Maybe it's just a problem from his side, because I really don't think the degradation is that bad around here. If he could make all those laps on the mediums, I think he could have made make them on the hards. Omar starting to close up the gap to Mark and Fersi. Now Mark makes a little mistake, goes a little bit off road there. I don't know if Buva's gonna be able to make it back into the podium. It's looking a bit complicated at this stage. He can probably try and get close to Dino Bino Bambino for a P5 finish. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1, I'm not sure what's that. Could we get a safety car now towards the end of the race? That could bring a very, very interesting race finish, I would say. Meanwhile, Joseph Vesely, closing up the gap to RPM, is looking to take that P9 of the race. Bubba nearly gonna be at the back of Whelp. Well, the problem from Whelp as well to have his ghost powers is that he can't defend position and is gonna be overtaken very easily, most likely by Bubba on those very fresh medium tires. Dino Bino Bambino at the moment 10 seconds behind Omar, 2 seconds in front of Georgie. Shouldn't worry much knowing that Georgie has that time penalty about his finish position. Maybe should probably be more worried about Bubba, who's coming strong. Got a yellow flag into the main straight. We're getting so much yellow flags in this race, but no safety car. No safety car yet on this race. It could well be. It could well have a safety car today. And yellow flag, I think that's Bialo once again. Into turn 3. Mark battling against Fursy for that second place of the race. Omar's most likely going to be taking at least a P2. And that's Bialo keeps crashing everywhere. Or spinning everywhere at least, because he probably hasn't crashed. Well, he's crossing middle of the road. A late safety car would be interesting once again. But I don't know if it's happening. It's kind of difficult. It happens. The race has been pretty clean, I can say. You can see 20 people, only one DNF, which was in the pit lane. So yeah, it's been a pretty clean one in my opinion. It's been a very fun one as well. We got a yellow flag again. It's still Bialo, isn't it? Fursy and Mark will continue the fight here for P2 of the race. Or P3 basically, because Omar's already on the penalty range. He's gonna be getting that position anyway. I don't know if Equasar is safe in the lead. There's around 6 laps to go to finish this GP. A safety car I'd probably say would benefit Equasar a lot. In any case, at the moment he basically depends on his tires not dying and basically on having faith Mark and Fursy will back off Omar for a while, like Sainz Singapore 23. And Omar is finally into the DRS train. It's gonna be difficult to overtake in this first attempt because he needs to get a little bit closer. And the DRS, the gap is wide open between the cars, so he's not gonna get a nice toe into the main straight. He probably can try and send it into some corner later on. But well, it's 6 laps to go from this point. Omar now needs to clear very, very quickly the drivers in front of him. Can get very spicy and interesting between these guys. Buba and Georgie battling for P6 as well. Buba's gonna try and get that move into the main straight. Dino Bino Bambino now gonna be a little bit scared there, having Buba at the back of him. His P5 is in danger at the moment. A yellow flag caused by Bialo once again. Fursy getting overtaken there by Omar. Omar moves up to P3 of the race. The next target's gonna be now Mark. This is gonna be a very interesting race finish between Omar and Equasar, I can say. There's gonna be 5 laps to chase the current race leader. The 2-stopper could finally bring Omar good results. We will see if that will be the case or not. Mark still needs to defend against Omar. It's probably not gonna be able to do much against him. Mark has a little bit of a slide there. That may cost Omar a little bit of time. And we get now into the... First is coming into the pit lane. First is gonna come into the pit lane there. Same as someone else coming to the pit lane. Omar is moving up in front of Mark. Well, Fursy is risking it here into another stop. He's gone for fresh soft tires. Dino Bino Bambino gonna lose the position against Buva. Most likely, yes. Around the outside goes Buva, gets the overtake done against Dino Bino Bambino. Georgie thinks about a move as well against Dino, but can't get it done yet. Maybe he's gonna try and get it done around the outside. Georgie versus Dino. Georgie thinking about a move there down the inside. Oh, a little tap there between Dino and Georgie. Dino needs to be a little bit careful in here. He doesn't need to mess up this good point results from today's race. He just lets Georgie through. He now can think a little bit about maybe about first's position. It's gonna be such exciting race ending today. Look at this fight between Omar and Equasar. Is 4 to go. The gap between these two is 3 seconds. Omar needs to close up the gap 3 seconds in the remaining 4 laps of the race. Equasar has been leading for most of the time. Bialo. Oh no! It's happened! A safety car. And Bialo's cost it. Bialo, you just need to survive for some more laps, mate. It wasn't that difficult. Well, it's a BSC, it's not a safety car. This actually is giving a pretty nice life here to... Is it a BSC or is it a full safety car? I can't see, but I think it's just a BSC. Am I correct? This has given good life to Equasar. This has given indeed a very, very nice life to the man and the racing bull. It's a BSC, 100% correct. It is a BSC. Well, now this, like I said before, has helped Equasar so much. Dino Bino Bambino will try and stick to the back of Georgie. Dino Bino Bambino, who's fighting here for a P, try and finish in 5th place of this race, helped by penalties. Joseph Vesely battling getting past RPM. Pitted for fresh medium tires. I don't know, probably this wasn't a great call by Joseph. I think he probably would have scored much more if he just stayed out. Dino needs to try and hold Fursy for 2 more laps and he can't have the job done. He's having a little bit of problem here with... well, first he's got past Dino Bino Bambino. Nothing he could do about it, I guess. RPM is out of the race in the pit lane. He's still gonna score very good points. I don't know the point of retiring this late. Well, and we got then 2 laps to go. Equasar is gonna be shaking a little bit. Is he gonna be able to keep his composure here into the ending of this race? Omar basically needs just 6 tenths to be into the DRS gap of Equasar. Omar is gonna be pushing that car hard to get past the Racing Bull driver. Now Equasar, it's time to show your championship contender skills today. And well, let's see if you can keep the Red Bull driver looking for his first win. Oh, and something's happening between Fursy and Georgie. Dino's up to P5 again. Dino up to P5, nice. What's the gap between Dino and Equasar? It's 21 seconds. Well, Omar's gonna get the DRS into the main straight. Not sure if it's gonna be enough to get the move though. He's gonna get maybe a little bit of dirty air in here. This is gonna be a very exciting race deciding move in the final lap of the race. Equasar with a little bit better battery. Omar, of course, with the better tires. I think there's little Equasar can do about it. It's gonna be Omar is gonna be taking the lead here, most likely. Coming into the final lap of the race. Omar opening the battery into the slipstream of Equasaur. Is gonna try and get the move done. Down the inside he goes and gets the overtake done, and into the lead goes Omar. Final lap deciding move for the race when Equasaur is not gonna give up though. Equasaur is not gonna give up, but I think there's little he can really do about it. Equasaur following now the back of Omar. The strategy finally seems that's gonna pay off. Well, complicated himself a lot with that spinner he had at the opening laps of the race, but finally is going to be able to take victory in an IOR race. Took him 4 rounds to take this first victory of the season. Equasaur, not much he can do about it. It's still very good points here for him. We gotta go on board then with Omar into the final sector of the track. The man that's gonna be winning the Spanish GP, Omar, looking for a fight back in this championship, is gonna come home to win in round 4 of IOR Season 12. Omar wins the Spanish GP, Equasaur in second. Was very close to a second victory in his career, won't be possible today. Mark takes his first podium in his career. At some point was fighting for the win as well. Buba will come into P4, score very solid points. Dino Bino Bambino, a man that I believe was going to be in the fight for this race victory if he qualified better. Georgie on P6, Fersi on P7, Welp on P8. The championship leader, Joseph Vesely. Very, very complicated race for him. He's not even going to manage a P10, I think. That's going to be the gap reduced a lot. Joseph in the line. Yeah, P11 for Joseph Vesely. Not a great day for the Haas guys. Well, Jerks, Jaker and Wilco will not be scoring points because they finished as a ghost. Still waiting for Motorway. Onion retired from the race. But I think he did cross the line. And we're gonna go now with the post-race interviews like always. We're gonna go with the national anthem as always. we're gonna go now with the national anthems. Let's go. Well, and we're gonna get the guys into the post-race interviews then. The Morocco national anthem played and the Austrian anthem for Red Bull.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
No, sorry. So, uh, leave me for last, David, please.
Okay,
I need to
okay.
go to the toilet real quick.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Thank you, man.
Right then, we're gonna start with the post-race interviews. We got race winner
Can you hear
Omar's.
me?
I can hear you. Right,
Right.
so we're gonna start the post-race interviews. We got Omar, a race winner, is gonna be talking at the end, and then we got Mark, made his maiden podium in the league. So we're gonna start with Mark. So first of all, congratulations on today's race in general. Maybe the win didn't came yet, but I can say you were fighting for it since the beginning. In qualifying, you were pretty close to Equasar. We're sticking to the DRS. Maybe the I don't know if maybe the strategy call wasn't the correct one from your point of view after the race. I don't know if you feel you could have stick to the back of him without that undercut from him. But in any case, it's your first podium, and I guess you will be very happy about it. So, what are your takes on the race in general and this feeling of being in the podium for the first time?
Yeah, I think that qualifying went quite well, a little bit better than expected. So it put us in a good position starting off in the race. I felt like, while I was behind Equisar, like he had really good pace, but the DRS was saving me a little bit. The undercut kind of caught me by surprise. I think that was a major mistake in the race. And at the end of the race, also looking at it, Omar, I think, was on a better strategy. In practice, I kind of liked the one stop medium, extend the medium to the hard. Just kind of hold position, but I didn't really see how much pace that the two stop had until Omar kind of just flew by me. So I think overall it was a decent race. Obviously, I think that we could have had a better outcome, but with this being a first league race season and first league race podium, I think it's quite well.
Then let me ask about middle of the race because after you got undercutted by Equator, you also got undercutted by Buva, which were stuck a little laps behind him. And well, I saw you had a little came together into turn one for a moment. I think he went into the gravel. But what are your takes on that incident?
I felt like, well, I saw him in my rear views. I knew that he was coming. He did, he kind of dive bombed me a little bit, which I was a little bit surprised about. I tried to regain into the next turn, to be ahead of the apex, and I think we just kind of ran out of space there. But I think it was, very hard racing. I felt like the move was a little ambitious, but I think that it just ended up being a little incident in the end. So yeah, I think that if we would have let him pass, I'm not sure if he got any damage or anything from that, but I know that he ended up pitting again, I believe.
Yes, he did. He
So
did pit again.
uh, yeah, so I feel like at that moment, either within the next few laps, we might have ended up repassing anyway, just because of the tire advantage. But that's neither here or there. So um, yeah, I think that it's just an incident in the end.
Now, a question about the championship. I know you missed the previous race, but in general, in the standings with this result, you've moved to 50 points, which puts you 35 points behind the championship leader. And the point system, if you've seen, is a bit different here. A winner gets 30 points, and we're still in race 4 out of 12. So a lot of things can happen. How are you looking forward into the championship fight? Because how consistent you've been since the beginning of the season, I think you could well fight for it. And you're starting to find the pace as well. So how are you looking forward into maybe getting involved into the championship fight? Do you believe it can actually happen? I guess you do. And well, you keep it consistent. I think you can get in there, but how are you looking forward into it?
I think that I'm just kind of taking it race by race, just trying to progress each week, and in the end, is where we'll be. If it's meant for me to get a championship, then that'd be great. I mean, like I said earlier, this is my first league race, so for me to get a championship would be quite exciting. But I'm here to, kind of get a grasp of things, find myself, find my pace in the car, and kind of just see where things go as time goes on.
And you've been doing really well so far. I mean, from first round, from basically last to P4, then in Japan you did a very good recovery race after the incident, and well, today you were fighting on pace for the win at the beginning, and then well, finally took the podium. So yeah, I really believe anything can happen. And well, coming into next week, we have a Silverstone, but it's the reverse layout, which is also a new track for everyone, I guess, or for most people. I don't really think many people have raced it in other leagues, so I think it's going to be a pretty interesting experience, which I guess is a track that's kind of difficult to overtake as well. How you look forward to it? Do you think it could be a good race for you?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be, keep a positive mindset on all races that are upcoming. Obviously, reverse track of Silverstone is, I would say, at least if it's not fairly new to the other drivers, it is something that it's driven more on nowadays. I've had a little bit of practice in there. I think it's a great layout. It is, like you said, a little bit difficult to overtake. There's certain spots. I think we would have to rely on, minimizing our mistakes and just, hoping that the other guys have a little bit more mistakes. Just given that it's not a true generic track, um, in the correct direction. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'd be a great thing. I've never seen Silverstone in reverse, so I think it'd be cool for the league as well.
Definitely will be a very fun experience. I think it's gonna give some motivation to the drivers as well, coming to a new track, basically for league racing. And yeah, I guess keeping it safe, consistent might be the key. When once again it's a kind of new layout for everyone, so mistakes can be there, and capitalizing on those could be key for the race win, or at least for good point scoring. Well then, thanks for your time, Mark. Once again, congratulations on the podium, and we're gonna move then with Omar in case you're already back. Omar, are you there? Well, I guess Omar's not with us yet. We will wait a little bit more to finish this post-race interviews. So seems like Omar's not showing up, or we'll wait 2 more minutes. Then if not, I guess we'll have to go. Well, I guess Omar's not gonna show up, so I guess that's gonna be the end of the post-race interviews. So thanks to all for your time. And well, we will meet again next week for the Reverse Silverstone GP.
Thank you.